ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل كما جاء في محكم التنزيل: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Dear brothers and sisters, we always begin with praise. We were told by the Prophet ﷺ that this life and everything in it is about a recognition of the numerous favors and blessings that we were given starting with life. And that's why when the Prophet ﷺ used to wake up, he used to say, Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'dama amatana wa ilayhi al-nushur. What that means is, all praise and gratitude for the one that gave us life and we used to not have life. We used to not exist and now we're here. Then we have gone to sleep in which we're not conscious of the world around us, and then He has given us an opportunity to wake up and take in another day. So that's our beloved Creator, and that's how we should begin our day, and that's how we should continue our day. Allah is a shakur. He is known as the grateful, the thankful. What does that mean? That means that Allah is the one that if you incline to Him just a little bit, if you just seek Him out, if you just engage in some devotion with pure, sincere intentions to please Him and to seek His favor out of the gratitude that you have for being given life, that He will give you an abundance that cannot even be measured. Let's take a look at the famous hadith. Most of us memorize it. Most of us use it just to explain the concept of divine mercy. But it's deeper than that. You see, the situation was, there was a woman who was a fornicator. She did terrible sins. And she saw a dog dying of thirst. And it was just going around the area where there was a well, but it has no ability to go in that well. And so she thought to herself, I have the water and the means of getting water, so I should go out of my way. Even though generally, particularly in the Eastern world, dogs are seen as wild, filthy animals, right? You don't really pay much attention to them, you just kind of stay away from them. This lady said, even that animal, I should go out of my way to give it some water. So she gave us some water. And the Prophet ﷺ, is the hadith, is in Bukhari and Muslim, there's no question about it. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah forgave all of her major sins. Allah forgave all of her major sins because of her gratitude for the situation she had, which caused and led her to want to give what she can get to the other one that doesn't have. This is the attitude of gratitude. It's a beautiful thing. There's another hadith that a lot of people misunderstand, and we're here to understand it properly, inshallah. And that is the hadith about one who lived a life of sin and corruption. Someone who was, a liar, a thief, a cheater, alcohol and drugs, corruption, rude and disrespectful to their parents, breaking family ties, having no interest for God and religion, but then one day, they looked around, they looked at themselves and they said, man, I am so blessed and God has given me so much, so I owe it to Him to ask Him to forgive me and to seek to be closer to Him and do what pleases Him. Say that person dies the next day. According to what we all know, that person is on their way to heaven, as though they didn't do any of that for many years, all of the major sins. That's Allah. He's grateful that you would take that step. Now some of the shabab, the young people, some of the older people, take this hadith the wrong way. This hadith does not mean, okay, I'm going to gamble with religion and spirituality, party and have fun and do whatever I want. And inshallah, when I get older, then I will be that guy or that girl who took faith seriously, and then Allah forgave them everything. Because guess what? If you go to that graveyard, you will see many plates. No matter how old you are in here, you will see many plates of people who were born after you were born. Meaning what? You don't know when you're going to die. This hadith is not talking about how Allah plays games with people's lives and throws one into hell and one in Jannah for fun. What this hadith is saying is take today seriously. Realize that He wants you to go to Jannah. All you have to do is be grateful for all He has given you. At any one moment, we may be able to count on our one hand the difficulties and hardships we're going through. Oh, I'm struggling financially. Oh, I'm sick, whatever it may be. But then you can count for the rest of the day the boatload of favors and blessings that you soak up every moment of every day. This is the nature of the reality. And see, when you look in these modern self-help and success story researches, psychologists have looked into how successful people come out, and they talk about the power of contentment and optimism, right? They talk about how the ones who are content with what they've got, and they truly believe that with work and with effort, that good things will come to them other than that. But they're not focused on things they don't have. They're not focused on what's wrong. They're focused on what's right and the proper reasonable means to getting there. Right? So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are truly grateful, I will increase you with more than what you have. If you're content and grateful with what you have. Look at the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can you please turn that up? The Prophet ﷺ, from the day he announced his prophethood, people are cursing him, abusing him, and all of his companions. Anyone believed they would be mocked, ridiculed, beat, harassed, murdered. They went through trial after trial, and yet the Prophet ﷺ, every day, he's waking up. اللهم ما أصبح بي من نعمة أو بأحد من خلقك فمنك وحدك لا شريك لك فلك الحمد ولك الشكر. Oh Allah, this day I've woken up and I have so many favors and blessings. It all came from you, so to you is the praise and the gratitude. And the Prophet ﷺ used to constantly say Alhamdulillah in so many ways. And the Quran keeps reminding of this. Because we're so favored and we're so blessed. Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, who made the point very clear. You know, he watched it happen with the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet was grateful for every blessing he was given, even though the odds were stacked against him throughout his whole life. And then right before he dies, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا. So, when the reality of the success and the victory and the favor of God came upon the believers, that you see the whole of Arabia has embraced Islam. Like some more people sitting here right now thinking, man, my financial situation, my family situation, my school, my grades, whatever, now this exam I'm looking at, it looks grim. You keep focused and you be grateful for all that you have. You will see it all come together for you, as the Prophet ﷺ and his companions saw it. So Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, he said very clearly, he said that the reality of a blessing will never truly reach its potential until gratitude comes to it. And when gratitude comes to a blessing, the fruit it gives brings more and more and more. When you are grateful for all the good things you have, more blessings come out of it. When you push it aside and you take it as for granted, or that's how it should be, or that I'm not concerned about that because I'm still worried about these few things that aren't going my way, then Ali says, radiyallahu anhu, your blessings will be taken away from you one after another. This is the secret to Surah Al-Fatiha. Begins Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name and honor and remembrance of the compassionate, giving, merciful, selfless, blessing to all. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So all the praise and gratitude are for Allah, who is the Lord of all of the universe. This is the natural reaction. We recognize that all we are specks of Allah's mercy, given consciousness. So with our consciousness of all of that we have, our life in and of itself. Oh, we need to help the brother. Please help the brother. Somebody call. Bring the doctors. Only a doctor. Only a doctor. If you're a doctor, help the brother.
Not together.
Please, leave the brother if you're not a doctor.
Call 911.
The doctors will know exactly what to do. That's their job. They're professionals. The rest of us, we watch and learn.
Did he get hurt? Yeah.
Okay, it's under control, inshallah. Allah will help him, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the brother health and give him an immediate recovery and make his affair in the best of situations. So we recognize the favors that we have, and we should lead the lifestyle that reflects that. That's the attitude of the believer. We don't focus on the negative and what happened wrong. We focus on the positive. We focus on what's good. And then we work towards what can be better, knowing that He can and will make it that way. Alhamdulillah. But it takes prayer and work. I'll give you an example. We all have children. Every one of us that have children, we know that sometimes the way they act, things they do, the way they are in school, we get frustrated. It's not going well. We can get very angry and upset and raise our voice. God forbid, get pulling out the shahata or something. But what we should do is think about all of the blessings we've been given in that child, all of the goodness that that child has, and pray, and with divine guidance and wisdom and care and support and a belief that that child will be better with work and time, we trust that Allah will take care of it. And guess what? Me and you, we cannot control our children. We are not in control of our children. Allah is in control of our children. All we have been given control over is ourselves, and we rely upon Him for our heart to beat and our legs to move and our eyes to see. Because many people were not given that. So that's our attitude. We look for what's good. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, anytime I'm faced with an adversity or an affliction, I realize that I'm sitting in 3 blessings on this affliction, on this hardship. He said, number 1, it brings me closer to Allah and it doesn't hurt my deen. I can still pray. I still have Allah. I'm now motivated to move towards Him and ask Him of His support and His help. He said, number 2, it could be worse. The situation can be worse than it is. No matter what difficulty you're in, there are many people facing much worse than you. This is the reality of a believer. He said the third thing is that I can expect a reward for going through this adversity. The Prophet ﷺ said, مَا أَصَابَ مُؤْمِنًا مِنْ شَوْكَةٍ فَمَا فَوْقَهَا فَرَفَعَ اللَّهُ بِهَا دَرَجَةً وَحَطَّ عَنْهُ بِهَا خَطِيئًا. At anything that happens, a prick of a thorn, Allah is raising your status and removing your sins by it. With true gratitude is feeling the pain of others. As we said with the woman and the dog, we realize that we're blessed with a very good situation. Our situation is good. We are blessed. We are favored. So when we see someone who's struggling and going through difficulty, we are wanting to fix their problem with whatever we can. With our wealth, with our time, with our skills, with our word, with our protest, whatever it may be. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. The native people of this land have been oppressed and abused, genocidally wiped out since the day the European people came here. They try to hide that in the curriculums of school. You have some people saying, I am now protesting the day of Thanksgiving. And my humble advice, don't do that. Because if you studied who first coined the term, his name is William Bradford. William Bradford was the governor of Virginia. And he celebrated that the Indians taught them so many things about cultivating harvest. And that they all lived through it together. And they were blessed together. Now, Puritans after that did unfortunately wipe out the Wampanoag tribe that he formed that alliance with. But the day is remembering something good about human connection and how we can work together and how we should be grateful for what we're given as we learn from each other. That's what the day is about. So it's a good day with an Islamic vibe. And it's not a religious thing, it's a customary thing people invented as a general concept of gratitude. It's not a Christian or a Jewish or a Buddhist or whatever holiday, in which case it would be a different story. So that's how we are. Like right now, I'm really tempted, if we could, this is a good temptation, to gather a group, particularly young people, and go to North Dakota and protest this oppression. These people have been put this place and that place and killed off and broken. And now they're trying to build some oil pipeline under their water supply, their only water supply. And they could spend some millions of dollars that they're going to make in profit and go somewhere else with it if they have to have it. Nobody's telling them don't have your business. We're saying respect the people who live here and the scientific facts behind what will probably happen in due time to their source of water. Patience and gratitude, my dear brothers and sisters, are natural companions. They go together. Patience and gratitude are the two wings of faith, the two halves of the existence of a conscious believer. Because if I'm blessed with worldly values, I have wealth, I have things going my way, I have what I need. And guess what? At the end of the day, Shaitan will try to use that against me and make my focus that I have my Jannah on this earth. I have all that I need here. I'm comfortable in what I have. And then you miss prayers, you don't pay zakat, you start, partaking in sinful lifestyles. Oh, because look at me, I have wealth. This life is not heaven. When we die from here, that will be it. you will only have what you worked for and what you really gained. وَأَلَّيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. You see, right now, there is a powerful force to make you and I workers who work for the sake of working, so certain people can become rich. And then we go home and we have this television screen and the iPhone thing in front of us. And we're wasting away valuable time that we've been tested and blessed with in this life. What we could be doing to work to spread the good of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to take in knowledge that will fix us and help us to keep our eye on the prize, that we will die and then we will see eternity. This life is very short. Ask your father, mother, grandfather, grandmother if they're still around. Ask them how long did their life seem, and they will tell you very short. It goes like that. The question is, what did we do with it? That's why Prophet David, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, اعملوا آل داود شكرا. Work as believers, as people. If you take a job somewhere, don't think of that as a secular engagement. Think of that as a Muslim contribution to how you will make this world a better place, to how you will show a standard of ethics and character and moral uprightness through what you do and how you spend your time and how you treat your co-workers. See it as an opportunity to shine the light of gratitude from all that you've been blessed with, and knowing that you're in the situation you're in because Allah blessed you with it, and that no matter where it is on the scale, the hereafter is better. وَالْآخِرَةُ خَيْرُ وَأَبْقَى. It is better and it lasts longer. So we're working to that end. And that's why at the end of the day, مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ شَاكِرًا عَلِيمًا. Allah would never punish anyone who is faithful and grateful. So it's إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ. الترتيب يفيد معنى. If you are grateful, which will lead you to faith. If you're not truly grateful for what Allah has given you, you will not lead a life of faith. And if you're not leading a life of faith, then that's because you're not truly grateful for what Allah has given you. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us all and give us true gratitude. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, we ask you to make us among those who are truly grateful to you. Ya Allah, forgive us for our laziness, for our ungratefulness. Ya Allah, please awaken our hearts to be very grateful and thankful for all you have blessed us with. Ya Allah, please make us be those who are truly engaging the blessing of prophethood and all of the struggle and striving that took place and the miracles that were done in order to give us a means to live aright, coming back to you in the eternity of bliss in your presence. Ya Allah, please forgive us and please overlook our many shortcomings and weaknesses. Ya Allah, please accept the acts of sincere spirituality and devotion that we do for your pleasure. Ya Allah, please give us paradise and join us there as a result. Ya Allah, please give us good health and goodness in our family and our children, and make us to be truly grateful, living a life of faith and responsibility with the souls that we are blessed and tested with. Ya Allah, please help us to see our purpose in life, understand it, and realize that the real purpose of life is working towards death. Ya Allah, we ask you to send your peace and blessings and mercy upon your final messenger Muhammad, who was of the most grateful, sincere, hardworking people, and the fruits of his effort is what you have caused us to be here for today. Ya Allah, we ask you all of this, and we ask you to send peace and blessings and mercy upon all of those who follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.